Hi, my name is Mary Catherine Brooks Fleming, but if you are watching me right now, then you probably know me as Coach MK. Merry Christmas! Congratulations to you. You survived. You got through the day. But they call this the holidays plural because there's another one coming up. And this period we're about to continue to slide through can be a fairly tough one, even worse than Christmas Day itself. Here's what I mean. I'm a big fan of Nadia Bowles-Weber. She's known as the Sarcastic Lutheran on Instagram and a local Denver celebrity. She's ultimate, very, very, very cool. And she posted something on her Instagram today that was a religious photo that said, "And the soul felt its worth." And I was struck by that, and I couldn't quite articulate why. I'm live, and you gotta wait a minute. I love you, but you gotta wait. I love you, but you gotta wait. I love you, but you gotta wait. I gotta do this now. So I saw her post, "And the soul felt its worth," and I couldn't quite articulate why it hit me so like a gut punch in that moment. And then I thought about, it's in the very next scroll, my question was answered when I saw an ad for a weight loss program and New Year's resolutions. And all I could think of was like, man, how did we go from "and the soul felt its worth" to the process of picking ourselves apart until we feel completely worthless with this laundry list of things about ourselves that need to be changed that we're not going to be able to adhere to and really shouldn't try. Yet we can't seem to break that bad habit of wanting to change ourselves all the time for the notion of vague self-improvement. So I thought, man, I just want to get in your ears before all that nonsense starts. Because if you're coming away from the holiday, from the day itself, feeling a little tender because a family member, in the name of love, wanting to protect you, and the only way they know how is to tell you everything that's wrong that you need to fix before someone worse comes along and points it out to you, whoo, this can be a very tender, delicate time. Coach Pat Head's Summit said, and this is something I believe in very, very deeply and have experienced as a coach, in the absence of feedback, a person will always fill in that blank with a negative. And I find that to be incredibly true. You wouldn't believe how many clients call me up and they ask for my feedback and then jump in to be like, here's the right answer, here's what I did wrong, and here's what I did wrong, and here's what I did wrong. And I'm like, whoa, man, I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you're making all the right choices. What is this? So, and then they get mad at me because I told them that they were wrong. They're like, but my critique is perfect and this is wrong. And I'm like, but what if it isn't? What if it isn't? What if you're okay? What if you're an incredibly good at this adulting thing? What if you're doing it like a boss? What if you're doing it well and have been all along? And that's when the scarier thought comes in. What if I'm the only person telling them that they're doing this correctly? And based on the number of messages in my inbox that I've been getting as my last day with my current job draws near, I'm starting to wonder if maybe I am. Because you see, we're hitting that point right now in running where people a whole lot smarter than me are saying that, you know, athletic pursuits are the new midlife crisis. How condescending is that? Midlife crisis? OMG, that makes me so frustrated, because that right there, that approach, that notion is exactly what's wrong. Oh, she's having a midlife crisis. She decided to run a marathon. Like, the generation before us decided they had responsibility way younger than we did now. They settled down way younger. So no wonder they wanted to blow it all up and be really irresponsible in the middle of their life. We have the lives we've always wanted. We were irresponsible in our 20s. That's mostly behind us. If anything, what we're doing when we choose to do something new, it's looking for a moment of, yeah, yay! Instead of looking outward and trying to find happiness somewhere else by blowing up our sense of security, we're looking inward and saying, what more can I do? And there's something awesome about that. At a time when we like to say that the world is full of garbage fires, this job is what gives me hope. I'm not looking elsewhere for happiness. I'm going to start looking in here, and I need you to guide me, because when I'm looking at my navel, I can't see the path ahead. And luckily, I am really, really good at telling you where you're going while looking at your rear end in a pretzel. That is just fun for me. Let's do more of that. Yay! Because you see, the reason we should have a new name for it, it's not a crisis at all. It is a beautiful thing, and it's not about the running. It never was. It makes it about you. And that's what everything you've ever done should have always been about you. How cool and how great would that be? Yeah, it's easier to talk about the running, but I hate small talk. And if you've ever worked with me or been near me in any capacity for any period, you know that. And you know I hate easy conversation. So let's start having some hard ones. Let's start having some fun ones. Let's start now. 2 people are going to care about your progress, you and me. At best, everyone else in your life is only going to care about what mood you're in when you come home. So that is really what Coached and Loved means. I am in this with you. And yes, I'm also a special needs mom, and I'm going to have to step away from my paid coaching duties for a while until we get this IEP stuff sorted out. I'm going to have to go mom like a boss. But my heart ain't a light switch, y'all. I can't turn that shit off, and I don't intend to. I'm still going to have the podcast. I'm still going to have this. I'm still going to be around doing stuff, and I want to start with this exercise as we slide towards the new year. I want us to think about things differently, and I want us to do things differently. And instead of New Year's resolutions, let's roar. Here's what I mean. Last year, we like to appropriate. It's not really, is it still appropriation if we're doing it from Scandinavia? I don't know. Everybody talked about hygge. Hygge is that becoming cozy. And that's warm cocoa and sipping hot tea by the fire with people that don't stress you out. And maybe it means being alone. And that's just such a lovely concept, right? That we just can't do it. Because again, if we're quiet and we're alone, whoo, we're going to fill in those blanks with the negative and get really, really anxious. FOMO, y'all, FOMO. So I'm like, how about if we did things differently? Instead of making a list of things we need to change about ourselves, how about we look backwards during this reflective period of Romuel, which is that, I mean, again, it's that Swedish word, allegedly. Google said so, and Google doesn't lie. It's a Swedish word for that period between Boxing Day / Christmas and New Year, and it's supposed to be for hygge, hibernation, hiding, and reflection. If you're really going to do that, hibernate, reflect, and you're going to do it without a coach, cool. I want to make sure, though, you're not filling in those blanks with a whole bunch of negatives that I'm going to have to fix and turn into a positive after January the 1st, because I'm not going to be coaching for a while after January the 1st, right? I'm only going to be yelling at you through Facebook Live, a podcast, and making pretty pictures on Instagram occasionally. So I'm about to post this blank template. It's a JPEG, and you can print it out, and I want you to write in there the Romuel roar. And I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronounced, and if I'm wrong, I don't care. Romuel roar. And you're going to fill it in with something that happened as we reflect on the previous year. What's awesome about that thing that happened?
Romuel, no,
and then we're going to and then we're going to do more of that in 2019. So I filled one in for someone I've never met, singer you might have heard of, Ariana Grande. She fell in love hard this year and became not a laughingstock, but she got a hard time for it. People were like, what were you doing falling in love so quickly? She's super famous, y'all. She can't get on Bumble or Tinder or Grindr or any of that stuff. How else is she supposed to do something? She literally lives in a bubble with security guards. It's amazing that all of her relationships don't end this way. So if I was coaching her, I would be like, yeah, oh, sorry, I'm forgetting Facebook. This comes backwards. My heart was broken. That means I loved fearlessly. Gonna do more of that in 2019. And if you really wanted to have something to work on at the end, then you could have what I'm going to refer to as the Ariana Grande clause, right? My heart was broken. That means I love fearlessly. Going to do more of that in 2019. But I'm going to wait at least 6 months before putting my love's name on the deed to my $26 million apartment. Not that that happened. Just saying. That is something you don't want to rush into, giving someone that you barely know $13 million. So I'm going to put this blank template up for you to download. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to print this out and fill it in myself. And when there is an Ariana Grande clause, I will share it with you, right? I'm going to be as vulnerable and open as I have always been continuously in 2019. And it's going to start with this. Every day for the 7 days of Romuel, we're going to have one thing. We're going to roar. We're going to find that one thing that you did incredibly well last year. And we're going to do more of that. Because our strengths actually do end up being our weaknesses too when taken a little too far. We're going to throw in an Ariana Grande clause when necessary if we really have to do that. But I don't really care if you do. I think you're great just the way you are. I don't think you need to be fixed. I can't promise you much, but I can promise you this. 2019 is going to be epic. and it's going to start with a roar. If you roar with me, please take a selfie, a picture of this, not one that's backwards. Use the hashtag RomUleRoar. It's written at the top of this, and then hashtag CoachedandLoved, because that's the only way I'm going to find it. Here's why that matters. When you go into Instagram, you can follow a hashtag once enough people start using that hashtag. So that means you can have a whole beautiful screen full of other people roaring. And there's something really positive about that. To show you kind of what that looks like, I'm going to pull it up. A hashtag that I follow, Coached and Loved. You can search for it. You click on it. You can see the top posts, and you can see recent posts. But it's just scroll after scroll after scroll. I go there and I feel all the love and all the people that feel coached and loved smiling right back at me. And I want you to hear all the roars coming right back at you as we get ready to go into 2019. This is the period. It's supposed to be a period of self-reflection where we come out better because after tearing ourselves apart. I think that's bullshit, and I think that is the habit we need to leave behind. Let's start 2019 with a roar. Because you're coached, and you're loved, and you are winning at life. I can't wait to see your hashtags.
Just keep breathing and breathing and breathing.
No?
No?
Okay.
She wants to say goodnight.
Okay. Good night. And I'm going to say good night, too. Catch you guys later.